After years of speculation, police have confirmed details about allegations that have rocked Canada and the hockey world for years.
We have found sufficient grounds to charge 5 adult males with sexual assault.
Then, 10 minutes into that press conference, came this.
I want to extend, on behalf of the London Police Service, my sincerest apology to the victim, to her family, for the amount of time that it has taken to reach this point.
Here's why this press conference was as much a police update as it was an apology, and what we learned about one of the most high-profile sexual assault cases in this country.
This should not take this long. It shouldn't take years and years for us, to arrive to the outcome of today.
5.5 years, to be exact, because the investigation started back in 2018.
It's a World Junior win in Buffalo!
A few months after that gold medal win, the sport's national governing body, Hockey Canada, hosted a celebratory gala for that World Juniors team in London, Ontario. It's what allegedly happened that night that is the root of this whole story, though none of the allegations have been tested in court.
When the event was over, members of the team continued the celebration and some attended Jack's, a bar in downtown London. In the early morning hours of June 19th, 2018, the victim attended the Delta London Armories Hotel with one of the accused.
She says at the time she was visibly drunk and was stumbling and slurring her speech. So she made a note of that in her statement of claim.
And according to her, had consensual sexual contact with him, but that, in that hotel room after that had happened, he had invited other players to come into that room, and that after that had happened, she, over the span of hours, said she was sexually assaulted by a number of players, for a long period of time.
She alleged in her statement that the defendants inflicted pain and suffering, mental suffering and humiliation and degradation upon her. Police say the alleged assault was reported to them later that morning, and an investigation was immediately opened. And then, months later, in February 2019, it was closed.
It was determined by investigators at that time that there were insufficient grounds to lay a charge. This decision led to the case being closed.
In the spring of 2022, TSN investigative reporter Rick Westhead made the allegations public, reporting that Hockey Canada had settled a $3.5 million lawsuit in connection to the same incident.
Hockey Canada settled that very quietly within a month, which is a very quick settlement, using money from a fund that included registration fees of children across Canada.
And that sort of sparked a firestorm of outcry and scrutiny about the way in which Hockey Canada handled those sexual assault allegations.
In May of 2022, Hockey Canada put out a statement saying that, to their knowledge, the victim had not cooperated with police. But shortly after, in an exclusive interview with the Globe and Mail, she came forward to dispute that.
And her lawyer says that's absolutely not the case and provided a series of examples that she made it clear that she wanted to pursue charges.
And London police confirmed that in their press conference.
I would like to make it clear that the victim in this matter has fully participated in this investigation from the time it was initially reported to police until today.
It's important to note that Hockey Canada corrected that original statement a month later, but headlines persisted, digging into who knew what when, whether police or Hockey Canada actually talked to any of the accused players, and why both of their original investigations were closed so quickly.
Hockey Canada's senior leadership dragged onto the Parliament Hill carpet to explain how and why they settled a $3.5 million lawsuit.
It is profoundly disturbing to me to see that in a case of a serious sexual assault, that it's unclear what the follow-up was.
After months of scrutiny from media and people across the country, London police reopened their investigation.
None of this would have happened had it not come out in the media, which is very, very regrettable because it shows that the justice system that was in place did not work for this victim.
Why do you believe the public should have any faith in London police to carry out this investigation?
Well, I'll tell you that the investigation was reviewed in 2022. And because of that review, we are here today.
It's impossible right now to know exactly what shifted for London police. We now know a review of the case was initiated, police say, in July of 2022. What that review found exactly, police wouldn't answer those questions, focusing instead on the reopening of the case.
When the case was reopened in 2022, our team explored investigative opportunities in addition to the 2018 investigation. Those leads were followed, additional witnesses were spoken to, and we collected more evidence. I can confirm that some of this evidence was not available when the investigation concluded in 2019. This is one investigation, not two.
What evidence they are referring to there, or what new information they received, how or when, again, they wouldn't say.
You mentioned that some of the evidence in the initial investigation wasn't available. Do you mean available or uncovered at the time?
Everyone wants answers, but I cannot compromise the investigation by providing specific details.
I think it's interesting that they said that there was new evidence, so there are reasonable probable grounds. They didn't have them back in 2018 when they did the first investigation. Could be because they obtained warrants to get access to cell phones or emails, or it could be some of the other individuals. They finally, gave a statement.
We do know from court documents and reporting by the Globe and Mail that there were allegedly text messages exchanged between the victim and the defendants, and at least 2 video clips taken that night. This morning, during their first court appearance, lawyers for all 5 players were told to expect a hard drive with a substantial amount of evidence, including audio and video files.
Time fogs the memory. So the video, depending on what it shows, may be an important piece to the puzzle, whether it's for the Crown or for the defense.
We have found sufficient grounds to charge 5 adult males with sexual assault.
The 5 men charged, Cal Foote, Michael McLeod, Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé, and Alex Formanton, were part of that 2018 World Junior team. Each of their lawyers has said they will plead not guilty. All players except Formanton are under contract with NHL teams until the end of this season, on paid leave. One of the accused, Michael McLeod, also faces an additional charge of sexual assault for, quote, being a party to the offense.
The one charge he was laid with is in relation to his own actions, and the party to the offense charge is in relation to aiding someone else in committing the offense.
So what is the behavior that would have involved aiding?
I can't disclose any details about that because the case is before the courts.
All of the lawyers we've spoken to believe the 5 men will likely be tried as a group, but their verdicts will be individual. Another big question police wouldn't definitively answer is whether further charges for anyone else could be coming.
In previous police filings, there is a belief that there was more than just these 5 individuals allegedly in the room. Are other players from the 2018 Hockey Canada team cooperating with your investigation? And do you believe that there could be charges of other individuals as a result of your investigation?
Thank you for the question. We have laid charges for all the charges that we have reasonable grounds for, and we've had varying levels of participation in the investigation, but I won't provide specifics about who cooperated and who didn't.
As for Hockey Canada, they put out this statement today. Hockey Canada has cooperated fully with the London Police Service throughout its investigation, and we are committed to continuing to support the legal process.
People have been talking about this in Parliament, in coffee shops, in hockey arenas across the country. Everyone seems to have an opinion. They're on one side or the other. Lawyers are reminding us, of course, that the players are presumed innocent until proven guilty, and that hasn't happened. This is the very, very beginning of what's expected to be a long process.
A long process, and what's been, from the chief's own admission, too long already.
Can you tell us today who bears the responsibility for that delay?
Listen, that's a great question, and it's a question that everybody wants to know. And right now, I cannot answer that question. It will truly compromise the curtain process. There's a time and there's a place.
The next court appearance will be on April 30th.